Today on Blueprint, we're going to have 6 different armies in CWO, so you can actually choose which one you are more comfortable with. And without any further ado, let's dive in and see these replays. So here we are first on Ninja's attack, and he's going to have some dragons with the Royal Champion Charge, one of the strongest dragons attacks obviously, and some of you may be familiar with it and may be using it right now. But let's see what Ninja has planned to do on this base, because it's a diamond base where you typically want to have the RC somewhere around the core so she can clear the core and you can just move around the base with the dragon. So let's see how he's sending the RC to the core. And for your information, these are his equipments. He does have the Dark Crown and he has no Eternal Tome. Now this might be a mistake, we don't know, but let's for now watch how the RC is crushing the core for now. And he's going to grab the Monolith. He did nice timing with the Fox even though he's all the way in the core, so he's still counting the times, whereas sometimes you might be forced into quickly dropping the spells. But this is where pro players are going to be separated from average players, because they also count those seconds even when they are kind of in a rush. Now he has a nice Inferno Dragon on the top side going with the main army, and of course he also has the King, which he's going to be dropping on the other side. Minion and the Wizards will clear the Lava Hound, and notice he does have a poison, so he's not actually greedy. Some people don't take poison in their armies. They think that, you know, the dragons can get through the clan castle sometimes, but having a poison is a nice versatility in the army. Now the Inferno Dragon is still going. This is nice, man. And by the way, this was Dima's base in the tournament, so yeah, kind of a crazy base if you put it in that, and it never got tripled. So yeah, it's insane, but it doesn't quite work in hard mode. Regular mode. It only works in hard mode, I think, because look at this attack, man. He got 3 equipments, and this is just crazy. Going to pop the Warden ability, which is the Healing Tome, healing the dragons through this small bit of damage because he combined it with the Minion Prince. So the damage onto the dragons is negating with the Healing Tome, so it technically becomes an Eternal Tome, even though the Healing Tome will stay for longer. And this video we actually bringing you more of this Healing Tome with dragons, Root Riders. We have also other nicer armies too, that if you're a ground attacker you can definitely try those as well. But don't worry, we got another air attack in this video, so stay tuned till the end. Now let's move on to another hit. Up next we have SP here, and this is his account, I Am Legend, and he's gonna go in with this exact army. And this is the army that we actually did in the past on the channel. So we're going to have a card on here for you if you want to watch it. This is going to be the 5 equipment army. He basically going to have Fireball and Rage kind of spell, right? With the Rage gem. And then he has a Healing Tome with a Frost spell, like those, you know, the Ice Block spell. So he's using that because of the way he can provide a tanking and healing at the same time. Kind of like Healing Tome and Eternal Tome at the same time. Going with this beautiful Fireball onto this building, he's just giving the Warden some time. He might finish this building off and then move on. He could have just, you know, do that with the Archer too, so not wasting any more time. Now once the Warden is choosing a side, this is where he's sure of his attack, going with Ice Golem, King and Queen on the outside with an Electro Titan in case there is a Tesla farm. Then he has the main army. Unfortunately the Queen locked onto the Warden, so he adapts and drop an extra invis. This is where the clan castle come out. You typically want to drop a poison for it unless you're way too close, and the poison is going to be a bit later to do it, so keep the poison. But notice this Tesla farm on the top side, that's where he has the Electro Titan. Giant Arrow is definitely one of the, I would say, best equipments with the Queen, not only because it damages and takes down air defenses or sweepers, but typically because it drops that giant or the action figure, which can help. Now notice this, the Ice Block spell and Healing Tome completely healed through this entire army, whereas regularly you would have, for example, the Warden ability, right? But you wouldn't have the Fireball. That's the thing. This is the key thing about this army. Now his Warden again was getting cooked, but this time he unfortunately missed it by a few seconds. But look how much army he still has. He got the RC ability, which is the Hawk Puppet, and he still got the King ability, which is the Snakes and the Ball. kind of a crazy approach, I would say, and not a lot of the army is dead, especially the heroes. This army definitely is one of the best with the Root Riders, and you can definitely move around with it. Obviously, there's a lot of Root Rider army out there, and today we're bringing you 2 of it. And yeah, technically, it's kind of crazy how this army works. Actually, we might have 3 Root Rider armies here for you. So you're gonna see the regular ones, you're gonna see the one with the 5 equipment, like this how we call it, and you're gonna see one without an Eternal Tome and without a Fireball or a Healing Tome. It's just gonna be the double gem. Let's move on to the next hit. Up next, I'm going to bring you a Fireball attack from Corny, and he's going to crush this base really heavily. Now, the Fireball Rocket Loon attacks obviously one of the strongest in the game right now. If you are a Fireball attacker, you would probably know that. He's mixing it up with some Furnaces just to get some nice cleanup and funnel for the Warden. And overall, the Furnace is working really well. There is some Fireball Furnace out there as well, but Rocket Loons is just a typical way to, you know, crush bases, and it used to be in the game for a long time, even back in Town Hall 16. So let's see what he does with this Warden. Now, I'm going to show you the base and how it's placed, because obviously with the Rocket Loon army, you want to deploy the heroes a bit further away, right? You don't want to like have the Warden following either of your heroes in case something gets messed up. So but what Corny does in this attack is actually quite insane, because he notices that the base is set up in a way that the damage is right here and maybe a bit right there. So he is going to actually send the heroes with the Warden into the base, something that you might not see too often from a Fireball Rocket Loon attack, but it's gonna happen in this one. Ice Golem, Queen, Warden, he's gonna have the Siege Barracks, P.E.K.K.A.'s even helping him out, Wallbreaker from a nice angle. Is he going to wallbreak again, or he's gonna use the King ability later down the lane? I think if he wallbreaks is gonna be nice, but yeah, like notice there is 2 Furnace on the left. These 2 Furnace is gonna act like an extra Siege Barracks where it can really help you out quite a lot. So King going in, he's still got the Queen ability and the King ability. He's probably going to pop it very soon to open the Town Hall area and this little path right here. And now for the Minion Prince part, he's not taking the RC in this attack because he noticed with the Minion Prince he might get more value. And yeah, honestly, the Minion Prince in this attack could definitely be dropped from the lower side, trying to freeze these defenses, or basically say frost them with a skeleton spell. And he noticed on the back end there isn't much of air targeting defenses. That's why the Rocket Loons will work amazing. And you may have noticed like he has a kind of a frost spell or ice block spell. I always keep saying frost spell, I don't know why, but he is going to use that ice block whenever it's actually necessary, because sometimes in a lot of your attacks it might not be really useful, but then you're like, oh my god, I wish I had it. And in this case you can see how he's tanking the Queen. You can use the ice block also whenever you want to pop the Warden Fireball, in case there is no storage for him to, you know, kind of actually stay back and have nicer time to drop the Fireball. You can ice block him, drop the Fireball and move on. That's also another kind of, I would say, approach with this army and the ice block spell. Let's move on to another Root Rider attacks from SP. It's going to be crazy. Now here we are on another approach, and look at this equipment with the Root Rider attack. This is going to be SP's account again, and he's going to go in with nearly the same equipment as the last Root Rider hit, but on this attack he has the double gem. These two work really nice. It boosts the Root Rider up a lot. Meanwhile, he still got the same trick with the Healing Tome and the Eternal Tome, with the Healing spell and the Ice Block spell. So he's running a lot of equipments if you kind of combine them together. Now what he does is to get a little bit of funnel on the kind of right hand side, and then from the left he can actually start into the Town Hall with the Root Riders. So he's going to keep another invis. I think it will be good for him to keep it. He may want to get the multi-inferno, I don't know that. Let's see. Okay, he's not. That's good. Always keep one invisibility in your army in case something goes wrong, RC gets into too much damage, your Queen is running out of HP on the outside. It's always good to have it, man. It's just amazing. Now he's went with the Giant Arrow. I wish he would have gotten this sweeper because he's moving into that area. So yeah, now I'm bringing you this exact attack because there was double rage, and I want to show you that without a Warden Eternal Tome, you can get through double Radiant, and it doesn't always have to be Warden Eternal Tome. So you can always play around with the equipment. Once the damage is getting a lot, this is where he can use the healing spell and the ice block spell together, but don't forget the poison. Watch out for your heroes because they're a bit separated from the army, and of course this is also around the area where things get heavily damaged, especially in the core. So he's gonna go in with the healing spell, ice block spell together. He doesn't have a queen ability, don't forget he used the giant arrow, so if he's losing out the queen, it won't be as good of a thing. But look how much troops he has in the core. A very nice I would say overgrowth spell, half of the rage tower. He can now has access to a few of these defenses without taking too much damage. Some loons and barbarians and skeleton spell just for tanking mainly, so his troops on the back end will be just fine. I think like he had 10 loons in this army if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he had less, but I've seen a replay from him with 10 loons. Like the way he used those loons is crazy. Sometimes he used it on the outside, sometimes he used it in the core, sometimes he used it for distraction. There may be sometimes a mortar, archer tower, wizard tower. He can take them out with one loon if they are separated. It sometimes works even better than barbarians because expose does actually target the barbarians. And look at this, man. Crazy attack. Like I've not seen the double gem on the Root Riders, but we just witnessed it right now. So let's move on to a super dragon attack because I think that can be another good air strategy. Here we are on another base with the double poison, and he's my friend Amireza. He's doing super dragon, I would say, for the past 3 years, since Town Hall 14. Yes, it's still possible, it's still very strong, and you know, currently they're having some issues with the Wi-Fi and internet in Iran, so he kind of had to switch strategies to a Hydra, whereas he drops everything and close the app in case, you know, like the Wi-Fi goes out. But his main army, his little baby, is super dragon. Notice he's going to have the original one. He's not having any RC charge or fireball, only weird stuff. He's having a nice flame flinger for one of the air defenses. What he usually does is going into Town Hall with this kind of bases, which are typically called the box base. This base just has a longer, I would say, and harder path to reach the Town Hall. Town Hall isn't quite in the corner, but it's still gonna be fine because the king actually does give access to the Town Hall for those dragons. Once the air defense and the fire splitter is down, he's going with a nice giant arrow, double air defense takedown, and he already took down the sweeper on the other side, as you can see. Going in with the dragons, and of course these are going to be his equipments right here, as you can see, regular equipments. Now all you need is early rage and early ward and ability. Once you move in the core, you can deploy more freeze spell. As you can see, he got 6 of them, so you can freeze monoliths, you can freeze singer infernos, or even sometimes scatter shots and enemy heroes. Skeleton spell for the tanking. Notice the beautiful minion prince ability. Unfortunately, he didn't get the last minion prince like the enemy minion prince, but the skeleton spell is really well placed here. And also another rage, keep on freezing, and look at the crushing hit. Like, you would probably think, well, this type of super dragon attack doesn't really work anymore, but guys, I'm telling you, it actually does. But you just need to have some practice because it's might be new for a lot of people, because so many people just got, you know, come back to the game with more advanced equipment, how the Root Riders and the RC charge into dragons and Root Riders and fireball works. But this army, it just bring back the memories, it bring back the original methods of approaching bases with the way you plan with the flame flinger. It's just amazing, man. But big shout out to Amireza, my friend. And now we're gonna have my personal attack with the Root Riders, which is gonna be the simplest way to approach a base with the Root Rider army, and let's move on to that. We have another base here, and this one is gonna be double invis because I brought you, you know, the rage, you know, the poison and everything. But with the double invis, some people have issues, you know, some people aren't as, you know, good as others. There is no issue with that, and they don't know how to take these bases down. So I'm going to show you how. We're gonna have a nice skeleton and also invisibility combo to activate them. Meanwhile, our RC is gonna be sent into the one that we activated it. Also with the other one, you can giant arrow it and start your army into it, so it's very nice. Now with the RC, you don't necessarily need every single defense of this area, okay? If there is like a sweeper left or there is like one defense left, don't worry, you can collect her up. But I was like, you know what, the base doesn't have any much damage, to be honest, so we went with the last invis. Now with the Queen Giant Arrow, we're gonna activate the other invis, and at the same time we have obviously the log launcher, because you can see how, you know, the Queen doesn't have access to those, and the way the defenses are set up around them, nothing has really access to those. That's why the log launcher come in handy. Now with the logs, the Queen also has access to the town hall. Now we're gonna have root riders into this base. Notice how we're going with the warden and everything, and then king and 2 witches on the side of this attack. So the obviously like hook tower can't really do much in this army, because yeah, we're just diving right into it. Now my RC was getting really shredded, so I went with the early warden ability, trying to rage up the healers, which is the most important part in these attacks. Going with the overgrowth on the fire spitter that was hurting us, the other one is pointing the other direction, so we don't have to worry about it. And now this is where you can see, like at this point, none of my heroes have taken any damage. We still got 4 root riders alive, and the action figure is there for fun. Now notice this, a beautiful cleanup for the back end where the mortar cannot reach. Always do that because we don't want to waste too much time. King ability, clear some defenses, barbarians to finish off the wizard tower, RC ability to stay behind the giga bomb so she doesn't move into too much damage. And yeah man, I mean, 4 heroes alive, what else you want to see? This is a classic root rider army. If you want to use it in legends and any other place, obviously it's good to go, and I would say it's the most versatile out of any other root rider army in my opinion. Due to my results on the last season, it was crazy man. I had 2 fails for the entire season. Absolutely crazy. But hopefully you enjoyed every single one of these armies, and obviously the link of it will be down below in the description. So yeah, let us know which one was your favorite. Maybe the super dragon one. No, I'm joking, chill out. Okay guys, hopefully you'll see this video to your, I would say, favorites, and yeah, I will see you soon in the next video. Take care and peace.